Good day everyone. I am Jared A. Guades, taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Values Education, day class. In this lesson, we will talk about the technology and culture. Technology and culture. At the end of this lesson, students will determine the relationship between technology and culture. What is culture? We all know that culture is an umbrella term which encompasses the social behavior and norms found in human societies, as well as the knowledge, beliefs, arts, laws, custom capabilities, and habits of the individuals in these groups. In general, culture can be defined as all the behaviors, ways of life, arts, beliefs, and institutions of a population that are passed down from generation to generation. It is called the way of life for an entire society. It means that culture encompasses all aspects of the society that we have, including technology. So, what is technology? Technology is the application of scientific knowledge to the practical aims of human life, or as it is sometimes phrased, to the change and manipulation of the human environment. It means that technology creates an atmosphere in the society that we are living. It changes the way we act, the way we respond and interact with other people in the society because as a human being in the society, we are engaged in new ways of living. So we can say that technology and culture has a relationship with each other. So as the question says, any relationships between technology and cultural values? Yes, because both are both have an important role in maintaining the economic development of one's country. Information and communication technologies have advanced and given their important spillovers to other economic sectors such as infrastructures, agriculture, healthcare, and etc., especially during this pandemic. Socio-cultural view of globalization posits that cultural values across the world are continuously changing because of technology that we have. Using a secondary national level data such as United Nations e-government survey and Global Innovation Index, it was proposed as the validated relationship. From the theoretical lens of technological determinism theory, technology of society determines the development of its social structure and cultural values. This study also finds that technology increases national confidence in financial markets through creation of increased transparency. This study also has implications for policymakers at both national and global levels regarding how technology affects the evolution of human societies. Cultures and technology, the analysis of some of the changes in progress, digital, global, and local culture. The scope is to understand the occurrences of the recent past from the second half of the 1900s and what is happening in social and individual experiences today. Devise a future to decide how, when, and what to offer in order to transmit to young people the fields of knowledge and skills that will be used for managing our future successfully. The chapter was divided into three parts. The first two are general reflections on the role of digital technologies in the past and present and focus on questions, expectations, characteristics that have interested scholars over time. The third level looks at the problematic features of people who were born after 1980. They are called the digital natives. The aim of this article is to understand the cultural changes brought about by the rapid diffusion of the new communications technology in the globalized context that we have. The role of technology in a society shows the indissolubility of the relationships that bind technology, society, and the individual, which identifies the numerous cultural changes caused by the use of information technology. Technology is not only the machine itself, but it is the whole set of relationships between human beings, utensils, and fields of knowledge. Not only seek to understand how one learns to become a member of a society, it also seeks to understand how selection activities and human creativity modify the process of learning in order to open the mind and get to know and learn to respect the worldviews of others. Communication is what allows groups and individuals to represent themselves and interact with the world through norms and values. Changes in cultural codes, behaviors, and fields of knowledge. Appadurai in 1966 and Levy in 1997, who studied the interdependent phenomena of globalization and the computerization of society in the second half of the 20th century, considered some aspects of the new instruments of communication problematic. The problems includes the rapidity of the transformations and rhythms of knowledge acquisition, the ever-increasing number of people who have access to information through computers and who produced it, the instruments of knowledge inherent in the Internet, their influence on the creation of new personal identities and interpersonal relationships. There are two concepts that play a key role to culture and technology, the cyberspace and the cyberculture. The cyberspace was first coined by William Gibson in his famous science fiction novel Neo-Romancer in 1984 and has been successfully adopted by the collective imagination. Levy defines it as space, a new context opened by the communication network produced by the global interconnection of computers. The symbol of this medium is the Internet. His notion of cyberspace includes the enormous quantity of data circulating and the people who use the Internet and fosters its growth. The cyberspace is a new realm of knowledge. Levy uses the word cyberculture to mean the set of material and intellectual techniques, practices, attitudes, ways of thinking, and values that are expressed and developed in cyberspace. Cyberculture. Cyberculture is an innermost problem of seeking solutions to constantly changing situation caused by technical development and collective reactions. Some considerations concerning digital natives. The term digital natives is applied to people who were born from 1980 to 1990, when social digital technologies came online. The use of those technologies have also changed the way they think and process information. The features of new media: speed, accessibility, easy acquisition, transfer and transformation of information, possible anonymity, and the multiple identity. Looking at the future, technology influences communication because it offers new elements in the creation of imaginary subjects and the world. They tend to integrate, subvert, and transform other contextual forms of learning. That is why thinking about the future means selecting and providing knowledge which will be of use to them in the years to come. The relevant to the relationship between local and global culture focuses on the fact that learning about the cultures of other countries helps one to think about one's own. The youngsters use technology to communicate but know little or nothing about the countries that youngsters of their own age live in and are full of stereotypes and prejudices. There is no conscious identity without the encounter of otherness, but getting to know each other's, reflecting and thinking critically about oneself makes one aware that every person is the expression of a cultural model with its own features which only the encounter with otherness brings into evidence. Student exchange also programs, for example, provides a practical situation for experiencing otherness, which makes young people aware of the local dimensions of their own culture, which is a specific expression of knowledge. Young people must learn to give priority to an intercultural approach fostered by the discovery and the comparison of the features of two or more cultures. According to Gardner in 2006, the ethical and creating minds compete the wealth of intelligence he considers fundamental for the future. They are fundamentals as they include the dimensions of values. This is essential as it means that they can recognize the responsibilities inherent in this role and the consequent morally correct behavior. The creating mind is the most developed in the technological world with particular and endless references to the artistic literally of the environment. That is why it cannot be ignored when analyzing the great cultural and technological changes involving all human beings all over the world. It also provides the opportunity to draw people closer to indigenous cultural products, especially all artistic expressions. They also favor comparisons and the crossing of the borders of the local cultures. They make it possible to participate in the global creativity starting from the taking pride in one's own origin. New technologies, if it is used properly, can help this process and open one's mind to the meeting with expressions of knowledge conceived by other beings. That's all. Thank you.